Welcome to the deep dive. Have you ever sort of considered the invisible threads, the ones connecting your past, your present, and, well, your future? Today, we're embarking on this really extraordinary journey. It's a case study that honestly feels less like a standard biography and more like a real-life epic novel. It's packed with unexpected turns, amazing success, and some really profound insights into how karma works. Our mission here in this deep dive is to explore the life of this one individual. We'll look at his unique family background, his early business triumphs, some dramatic downfalls, acts of incredible philanthropy, and even these really close brushes with death. What's truly captivating, I think, is how all these experiences pushed him to ask some very specific questions. Questions that, well, they ultimately led to these astonishing revelations about past lives and the intricate workings of merit.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And what's so compelling about this whole narrative is how vividly it illustrates good hang gum, the law of karma. This basic principle that every action, every intention, even our thoughts, they all have consequences. And these consequences often show up in ways that are, well, sometimes predictable, but often entirely unexpected. Through his story, we'll really get to see how past deeds, both the good ones and the misguided ones, intricately weave together. How they shape his reality, influencing everything from his wealth and his relationships right down to his very survival in near-death situations.
So get ready to maybe unravel some surprising connections. You might have some aha moments as we trace these deep links between intention, action, and destiny, all through the lens of this one man's incredible story. It's not just a tale, it's a really potent demonstration of how our choices can ripple through time. Okay, so our story begins with this truly remarkable individual, born the 10th child, get this, among 7 mothers.
Quite the start in life. A testament to his father's charisma and status, I suppose.
Absolutely. He navigated this childhood shaped by really unusual influences. For over 10 years, he attended Catholic schools. He even became president of the Alumni Association, actively helped raise funds for the Christian faith. Yet, despite all that, from a very young age, his heart was just profoundly drawn to Buddhism. He had this firm belief in the law of karma.
And that early spiritual pull, that leaning toward the Dharma despite his extensive Catholic education, that's a really crucial detail, isn't it? It strongly suggests this powerful internal calling, a deeply ingrained spiritual connection that would, ultimately define his life's path, even when everything on the surface seemed to point elsewhere.
Yeah, it's mentioned he even had a private audience with the Pope in the Vatican.
Wow.
The Pope thanked him for his contributions, but his Buddhist faith just remained unshaken, deeply rooted.
Fascinating.
Okay, so here's a pivotal moment. He was just 17 years old, and somehow he manages to secure a mining patent for this beautiful, resource-rich plot of land in Mayset province.
Maysat. That's usually challenging land to acquire, right?
Yeah.
Especially pristine spots with waterfalls, streams.
Exactly. And this was made possible with a loan from his future father-in-law, a man who clearly saw something special in him. He was apparently told, this land only comes to people with immense merit.
Well, that certainly raises questions. Such an effortless acquisition, really, of significant assets at such a young age. Plus, getting married at 19 to his current wife, it immediately makes you ask, what forces were at play here? What brought about this early success? These seemingly destined connections, the ease of it all hints at something deeper, some karmic ties maybe.
And his rise just kept going. After graduation, he took over his wife's family business. Now, it started with a market value around 90 million baht, assets over $1 billion, respectable, sure. But he transformed it into a powerhouse, listed it on the stock exchange, assets soaring past 40 billion baht, market value 15 billion.
Incredible growth.
By 33, he was advising the Minister of Finance. Talk about a meteoric rise. And he himself felt, there must be some reason behind this extraordinary success.
Definitely not typical.
But despite all this vast wealth, his influence, as his business expanded into different provinces, he started seeing communities living in extreme poverty. And while maybe others saw this as just normal, the way things were,
He felt differently.
yeah, he felt this undeniable urge to step in, to help. He developed this deep belief that education was the most sustainable gift you could give, like a treasure that, once you give it, it never runs out.
That's an interesting perspective. It goes beyond simple charity, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, what inspired that shift, that conviction in education as the ultimate gift, seeing knowledge itself as the key to security, to empowerment for others?
And he didn't just talk about it. His commitment was real. In 1991, that's 2534 in the Buddhist era, he set up an education fund with over 1 million baht, and crucially, he empowered the local communities to manage it themselves.
Ah, that's key, giving them ownership.
Exactly. And today, that fund, it holds over 90 million baht. It supports more than 5,000 children. Children who affectionately call him father.
Wow, 5,000.
Yeah, he even jokes sometimes that he might be the most prolific father in the world. His dedication also earned him an honorary doctorate in 1995, 2538 BE.
A well-deserved recognition, it sounds like.
But, you know, his life wasn't just smooth sailing and success. There were severe trials, too. Back in his youth, he had this near-fatal car accident. It prompted him to make a vow.
A vow.
Yeah, to dedicate his life to good deeds, both social welfare, helping people, and supporting Buddhism. Then came the 1997 economic crisis, 2540 BE, devastating for the region.
A very tough time.
His company just collapsed, seemingly overnight. He lost over 2 billion baht.
An immense sum, unimaginable for most people.
Right. But what struck him most, what he felt the most regret about, wasn't the money itself. It was the feeling of losing his tool for doing good deeds.
That reaction is incredibly telling, isn't it? It speaks volumes. It shows this deeper understanding of wealth, not as an end in itself, but as a resource, a means to cultivate merit, to benefit others. That perspective is unusual, and it gives us a crucial clue about his spiritual inclinations, his ability to handle such a massive loss.
Then later, another close call. He was inspecting his beloved Mae-sot property.
The beautiful land he acquired young.
That's the one. He slipped near a fast-flowing waterfall, fell onto a rock. He was paralyzed for an hour, just lying there.
Terrifying.
In that moment, he said he vividly recalled all the good deeds he'd done, and he just prayed fervently not to be permanently paralyzed. X-rays later showed 3 broken ribs.
Yeah.
The rock had missed his spinal cord by half a centimeter.
Half a centimeter. That's unbelievably close.
Doctors called him extremely lucky, and for him, it just reinforced his faith, his belief in the power of merit protecting him, saving his life.
You can see why. It strengthens that connection in his mind.
And adding another layer, this is fascinating. A Burmese fortune teller once told him something quite specific.
Oh, what was that?
That he used to be a Burmese prince in a past life. And that explained why he owned the Mae-sot land. And also that he was so meritorious, he'd only be reborn 2 more times.
2 more times. That's a very specific prediction.
Right. And here's the kicker. Coincidentally, or perhaps not, he had this incredibly vivid dream. In the dream, the Buddha himself patted his head and told him the exact same thing. 2 more lives.
Wow. The external prediction and the internal vision matching up like that kind of synchronicity often points towards deeper karmic connections, doesn't it? It suggests a life journey that maybe transcends our ordinary understanding, where different threads, external prompts, and internal feelings, they seem to lead to the same conclusion. We should definitely explore that further.
Absolutely. So all these extraordinary events, these ups and downs, they compelled him to ask some really profound questions. He wanted to understand the why, the reasons behind his life's unique path. And these are questions that I'm sure many of you listening can probably relate to in your own lives, right? When you ponder the meaning behind things that happen. So he started with questions about his origins, his challenges, like where did his father go after he passed away? What specific past actions led to his success being so incredibly early? And crucially, why did his life soar so quickly, but then just stall so sharply after 1997? What does his future even hold now? Then he moved on to his assets and how others saw him. Why do people misunderstand him so often? Why do they accuse him of showboating when he's just trying to do good deeds? Or even, why do some people seem to fear him in business dealings?
That perception issue is interesting.
Yeah, and what enabled him to own such unique, beautiful land like Mae-sot, land he feels really nurtures his Dharma practice. Was that fortune teller actually right about him being a Burmese prince? Is that the reason? And how should he properly honor the devas, the celestial beings that he feels are protecting that Mae-sot property?
Good questions, practical ones too, about respecting the unseen.
Exactly. And then he turned inward to these deeply personal spiritual questions. Why this lifelong innate interest in Buddhism? Why does he often feel out of place as a layperson, like he should have been a monk?
That feeling of not quite belonging.
Right. Was he actually a monk in a past life? Was that vivid dream about reaching nirvana in 2 more lives real? What did it signify? And will he get the chance to join the Sangha, the monastic community, and to see to heaven after this life?
Yeah.
What kind of merit did he build up with the Sangha, especially related to education?
Tying back to his passion.
And his family, his wife, his 3 children, even his beloved dog. What past connections do they all share?
The whole network.
Finally, a really dramatic question, one anyone might ask after surviving something like this. What specific merit saved him from the 2004 tsunami? He was in the Maldives, his villa was just swept away, but he'd had this sudden, inexplicable urge to leave early. Why?
Incredible timing.
And why was his other property on Koh Yao completely unharmed when places nearby suffered heavy damage? Ships washed ashore, devastation. But his place was fine.
Powerful questions indeed. They cover so much ground.
They really do.
Okay, so with these powerful questions laid out, let's start connecting the dots. Let's delve into that karmic tapestry that holds the answers. These revelations, they really show this profound interplay of past intentions, past actions, and how precisely the law of karma seems to operate.
All right, let's start with his father. Where did he end up?
Okay, his father. He passed away from heart disease, essentially when his natural lifespan ended. He was reborn as a handsome Kinara god. That's a kind of celestial musician-like being in the Katumaharjika heaven. It's one of the lower heavenly realms in Buddhist cosmology.
A Kinara god. Interesting. So, despite maybe some earthly flaws.
Yes. Despite a karmic history that included, shall we say, a certain level of philandering and social drinking, his accumulated merit in Buddhism was significant. That, combined with his naturally cheerful social nature and the merit his son dedicates to him now, led him to this blissful realm. And interestingly, it seems he still retains some of his old habits. Reports are he's still quite flirtatious, serenading other goddesses with songs.
That's quite a picture. Okay, so that explains his father. What about his own early success? That rapid rise in wealth?
That connects directly back to a specific past life. A life where he and his current wife were married then, too. They were a benevolent, wealthy couple in that life, and they undertook this grand project, building a huge temple.
A huge temple. Okay, that sounds like major merit.
Exactly. They completed over 60% of it. But here's the twist. They stopped.
Tell me why.
Due to a major disagreement with the abbot, the head monk of the temple.
A conflict. What was it about?
Well, the abbot wanted separate halls, one for dining, one for dharma talks, to maintain sanctity and prevent distraction during teachings. Made sense from his view. But our protagonist, he insisted on a single, multi-purpose hall. He was the primary donor, providing the land, most of the funds.
So he felt a sense of ownership, like his vision should prevail.
Precisely. That feeling of ownership, maybe a bit of pride, coupled with, unfortunately, some other people kind of fueling the misunderstanding between them, it led to the project just being abandoned.
Wow. So the merit from starting such a huge project propelled his wealth in this life.
Yes, that immense merit kicked in powerfully, leading to that rapid early success.
But because they stopped, the project was incomplete. That's why his wealth, while huge, was still considered normal relative to what it could have been.
Exactly right. It put a ceiling on it. The unfulfilled potential of that merit meant his wealth didn't reach the absolute ultimate level it could have.
And does that also explain the sudden halt, the downturn in 1997?
Yes, that's the direct karmic consequence manifesting. The incomplete merit from the temple project is the specific reason his business fortunes experienced that unexpected sharp downturn. He could have been, well, unimaginably wealthier if that temple had been finished.
That's a very clear cause and effect. So what about his focus shifting to education after that and seeming hesitant about big temple projects now?
Well, after abandoning the temple project in that past life, his inherently kind heart still sought ways to do good. So he channeled his energy and resources into social welfare, focusing particularly on education for the rest of that life. This directly explains his deep affinity for educational causes today. It's a continuation. And it also explains that subconscious reservation about building large temples himself now. He doesn't oppose others doing it, but the past experience left a mark.
So that drive for philanthropy, especially education, it's literally carried over. But what about the other side effect? Why is he misunderstood, seen as boastful, even feared?
That comes back to the same past life, specifically to verbal karma, vajikama.
Karma from speech.
Yes. After the temple project stopped, regrettably, he continued to speak negatively about the abbot to other people. He spread his side of the story. This caused others to also misunderstand the abbot's intentions, creating negativity. This vajikama, this karma created through negative speech, it didn't just contribute to his business stagnation later in this life. It also directly caused others to feel suspicion, misunderstanding, even fear towards him now regarding both his business ventures and his genuine good deeds.
So people thinking he's showboating when he gives. That's a direct echo from him bad-mouthing the abbot.
It is a stark reminder of how powerful words are, how their effects can ripple across lifetimes.
Wow. Okay. Lesson learned there. Now, switching gears slightly, the May-Sot land, that beautiful, unique property. How did he get that? Was the fortune teller right about the Burmese prince thing?
His ownership of beautiful, rare land like Mesad is a direct result of his merit from donating beautiful land in that past life, specifically the land he donated for that grand temple and also land for other public benefits. Generosity with land brings rewards of land.
So merit from donating land leads to owning good land. Makes sense.
Yes. Actually, based on the merit, he probably should have received even more such land in this life. But apparently, he didn't specifically make a wish, didn't pray for land ownership when he was making the donations back then. He just gave with a pure heart.
Interesting detail. So what should he do about the divas there?
As a gesture of gratitude, and to continue fostering positive connections, he absolutely should dedicate merit specifically to the devas, the celestial beings who reside on and protect his land, just acknowledging them.
Okay. And the Burmese prince theory?
No, he wasn't a Burmese prince. That was just perhaps the fortune teller's interpretation.
Yeah.
Seeing his great merit and the nature of the land, maybe they made an assumption based on common beliefs associating royalty with such things.
So it was the land donation merit, pure and simple?
Exactly.
Now, what about that deep pull towards Buddhism, feeling out of place as a layperson?
That feeling, that innate interest from childhood, it stems from a very deep history. He has actually been a monk for many, many eons in past lives.
Many eons.
Wow. Yes. Often a very renowned preacher, a teacher with numerous disciples, a long history within the Sangha. In fact, in ancient times, he even harbored the initial aspiration to become a Buddha himself.
A Buddhaphone. He aspired to full Buddhahood.
He did, at least at the thought level initially. It was a powerful aspiration he held for a time.
That's incredible. So what happened? Why didn't he pursue that? And how does this connect to his dream of nirvana in just 2 more lives?
Well, that initial, very high aspiration eventually waned. The story goes that he encountered a goddess, and this encounter led him to choose a householder's life instead in a subsequent existence. After that, he shifted his focus. He continued accumulating vast merit, but now with the aspiration of attaining Savagabhumi. That's the path of a disciple of a Buddha, seeking individual liberation from suffering, aiming for nirvana as an arahant.
Ah, so he changed his goal from becoming a Buddha to becoming a disciple.
Correct. And this deep-seated desire to escape the cycle of rebirth, the Vatana, is precisely what manifested in that vivid dream he had the Buddha, telling him 2 more lives. It reflected his current core aspiration.
Okay, that makes sense of the dream's content. But what about the fortune teller saying the same thing? Just coincidence.
It appears to be a fascinating convergence, yes. A coincidence rooted in different belief systems arriving at a similar number. The fortune teller's particular tradition regarding the future Buddha, Metteyya, or Farshri Arya Maitreya, also involves a 2-life journey for him. The belief is Metteyya is currently in Tusita heaven, will then be born as Prince Vesantara, and then finally attain Buddhahood.
So the number 2 popped up in both his internal aspiration manifesting as a dream and the fortune teller's external belief system.
Exactly. 2 different paths leading to the same number. It doesn't necessarily validate the fortune teller's entire prediction, but the convergence is remarkable.
And can he still join the Sangha in Tusita heaven?
Oh yes, absolutely. With his accumulated merit and aspiration, that path remains very much open to him.
This really clarifies so much about his lifelong drive, especially his passion for education.
It does. That passion for education, for giving knowledge, it's not just a personality trait. It comes directly from his past service. As mentioned, he was a monk for many eons, and during those times, he often served in roles equivalent to being the Minister of Education for the Sangha, overseeing learning, teaching,
Minister of Education for the Sangha.
for ages. So now, in this life, he continues that role energetically, just in a different form. He acts as a core supply line supporting the Sangha, especially in educational projects. That karmic connection is incredibly strong.
Amazing continuity. Okay, let's turn to his family now. His wife, children, and the dog. What are their connections?
Well, his wife and 3 children have also made merit alongside him with the Sangha across lifetimes. They share that positive connection, though his merit in that area is the most extensive.
They're part of his meritorious team, so to speak.
In a way, yes. They've been companions in doing good. Now, his beloved dog, That's a particularly poignant story. It really shows how these karmic threads can stretch and transform.
Okay, I'm intrigued. This sounds like one of those surprising connections you mentioned earlier.
It really is. In a past life, the dog was actually his son.
His son. The dog was his son.
Yes, a rebellious, philandering son in that particular lifetime who caused him, the father, a great deal of heartache. It seems the father, our protagonist, loved him very much, perhaps indulged him a bit too much. And despite the father's earnest efforts to introduce him to the Dharma, to guide him towards a better path, the son never truly changed his ways. He remained quite wayward.
Oh dear. So what happened to the son after that life?
After death, because of his actions, particularly the sexual misconduct and causing his parents suffering, he fell to one of the lower hells, specifically Yamalogkum 3. After his time there was exhausted, he was reborn, spending hundreds of lifetimes as a dog.
Hundreds of lives as a dog because of that one human life.
The weight of the karma was heavy. But now, finally, his negative karma is lightening. It's becoming exhausted. And this lightening of karma has brought him back, reborn as a dog again, but this time into the care of his former father. It's a chance, an opportunity facilitated by their connection.
That's an extraordinary and frankly heartbreaking backstory for a pet. So what can he do now? Can he help the dog break free from this animal rebirth cycle?
Yes, there is something very specific he can do to help his dog finally break free from this long, painful cycle. He should consciously dedicate merit every single time he performs a good deed. Make merit, then share it. And when he dedicates it, he should make a specific wish for the dog to be reborn as a human being in the next life, to have the precious opportunity to encounter Buddhism again and build merit for itself. But crucially, he should add the wish that the dog, when reborn human, does not have the rebellious and philandering traits of that specific past life, to break that pattern.
Wow. That's incredibly specific guidance. It really highlights the long reach and the potential for transformation within karma.
It absolutely does. Even across species, across lifetimes, the connections and opportunities for change persist.
Okay, one last major event. The tsunami escape. 2004, Maldives villa gone, him safe. Koh Yao property untouched. What specific merit was at play there?
That dramatic escape, the seemingly miraculous protection, it was due to the combined force of his immense accumulated merit, both from his deep past lives and, importantly, his present actions.
Present actions too, not just the old stuff.
Definitely. Crucially, the merit he's making right now in this life played a significant role. Specifically, the merit generated from his ongoing project of building a Bodhisattva school.
The school for monks and novices worldwide for studying Buddhist teachings.
That's the one. Building that school with the Sangha is creating tremendous, powerful current merit. And it was his potent present merit that actively intervened, protecting him, giving him that urge to leave the Maldives early, and shielding his Koh Yao property from devastation. It truly came to his rescue when it mattered most.
So the merit we make now can have immediate protective effects.
Absolutely. It's not all predetermined by the past. Our current actions continuously shape our reality and safety.
And there was one final connection mentioned.
Yes, a lovely closing point on connections. The Kalyanamit, the good spiritual friend, who introduced him to the Sangha and guided him in this current life. Turns out, she was his younger sister back in the previous Buddha era.
His sister from a past Buddha age.
Yes, serving the exact same profound role then as she is now. Being a spiritual guide, helping him connect with the path. It just shows how deep and enduring these positive guiding relationships can be across vast stretches of time.
What an absolutely incredible deep dive, looking into just one person's life, but revealing this intricate tapestry of karma, from an unfinished temple putting a precise limit on wealth to careless words, verbal karma causing misunderstandings lifetimes later, and ancient aspirations manifesting as dreams. It truly shows how every action, every single intention leaves its mark, doesn't it?
It really does. This story is such a profound illustration. While our past karma undeniably shapes our present circumstances, the hand we're dealt, so to speak, our present actions, our choices right now are continuously building our future. They're actively weaving the next part of the tapestry. It really emphasizes the power we have when we understand our own karmic threads. We can navigate challenges better, seize opportunities for doing good, and even mitigate potential negative outcomes through conscious action.
So thinking about all this, what does it mean for you, our listener? Well, perhaps it's a powerful reminder, a reminder that even when things in your life seem chaotic, maybe random, or just pure coincidence, there's often a deeper, invisible order at play. And that our choices, especially the ones we make that are rooted in compassion and wisdom, They have effects that reach much further than we might immediately perceive.
Indeed, that ongoing impact of our intentions and actions is such a dynamic and powerful force. This whole story really invites you to critically examine your own motivations sometimes, to consider how you can contribute to a more positive future for yourself and for others too, knowing that the ripples of your choices, good or bad, extend far beyond what you can see or immediately understand right now.
So for you listening right now, this deep dive might make you reflect on your own journey, your own life's path. Maybe consider this. What unfinished projects, and they could be anything, physical tasks, emotional healing, spiritual goals, what unfinished projects might be waiting for your attention in your life? And how might finally completing them, or maybe even just shifting your intention behind them, how might that reshape your future in ways you can't even imagine yet?